I'll never forget the moment that I ran to hide behind our grey sofa when the thud at the door came from two big men, bailiffs, coming because our debt had got out of control. Tears streaming down my face, holding my two daughters that were under 2 at the time, shushing them, I felt the lowest of the low. How did I get here when I grew up with such a good work ethic? It all started when our second daughter had a stroke and a brain hemorrhage completely out of the blue. I had time off from my work in an optician's, but that initial first week soon became a year, all unpaid. My husband went back to work sooner than me because we had bills that had to be paid. It tore his heart in half to leave his poorly child. But what can you do? If you've got bills, they have to be paid. My boss asked me if I was returning, and I wanted to say yes. I needed to say yes. Financially, we were drowning, even with my husband back at work doing 60-plus hours a week. That amount of work in 1 week, every week, is not healthy for anyone, but especially for him living with a chronic illness. It worried me to death. Our daughter made a slow recovery, but the stroke left her needing 24/7 care, so I had to leave my job, my career in ophthalmology, which I loved, for good. Already in some debt, it spiraled even more from here. My husband's income would come in on the 1st of every month, but it would only cover the first 2 weeks of every month. So by the 15th, we were at zero. Behind that grey sofa, shaking, looking at our two daughters, I swore I would find a way to make money around our life, which now involved 3 to 5 hospital trips a week. The fire in my belly was ignited. The why was there. Now, I just needed a way to get all of this energy that I had to pour into something that could take our life into a new direction.
Hi, I'm Lisa Woodcock. I live with autoimmune disease, a liver condition that doesn't pause, it doesn't negotiate, and it slowly takes away certainty. Because of my chronic illness, I've had 2 life-saving liver transplants in the last 5 years. I'm here because of organ donors and their families. A 23-year-old man and a 75-year-old woman. I am here because their loved ones honoured their wishes to be organ donors at the very moment that they were facing their own unimaginable loss. In the middle of heartbreak, they chose to say yes, and that decision saved my life twice. Alongside my health, I work full-time in a corporate role, a career that I've worked hard for, and one that I'm expected to stay in until I'm 65 to secure my pension. But after my first transplant and conversations with my medical team, my husband Justin and I, we knew something very real. It was unlikely that I would make it to 65.
So, with my life being so difficult, I was on social media one day complaining a full-on woe is me moment. It was a status on Facebook as long as your phone screen, moaning that my life had hit rock bottom. How in debt we were, how we never had time as a family, how poorly the extra hours were making my husband, who lives with chronic fatigue, when a girl from my past sent me a message and asked me to take a look at her new business.
I knew I needed another plan, to do something different, to earn some extra money, something that worked with my health, not against it, something flexible, something future-focused, because I didn't just want to survive. I wanted the chance to experience retirement, life, and choices. Between my transplants, I continued in my corporate role, as I do today, and once again, I knew without that call to say that there was a donor match for my second transplant, I wouldn't survive. I needed focus, something that would help me find an outlet as well as earn some extra money and could potentially help others in similar positions. I've been following a woman that I'd met through a Peloton Facebook group. I watched her build her Arbonne business alongside family life, health challenges, and renovating their dream home. And for the first time in a long time, I thought maybe I could also build an Arbonne business. Maybe this could work for me too.
So it took my friend, who had just started her Arbonne business, 2 minutes to summarize how the business works. by selling products that everyone uses daily from my own website and recommending what products that I like to others. Well, that sounded super simple and doable to me. It was something I could do from around my hospital life. I had no objections. This was the first thing since my daughter's stroke that was presented to me as something I could actually try to make work around our chaotic appointments and hospital lifestyle. For me, that was almost 12 years ago. Thanks to the hard work I've consistently put into my business, it meant that I didn't need government assistance. I've been able to earn, thank you. I've been able to earn my own money and not have to ask my husband for money for like a baby group or a coffee. Once I grew my business to the RVP level, we were able to save enough to choose to leave our rental home that we'd had for over 10 years and then buy our own house together. And it meant that we were able to expand our family with 2 more children. Life is good. We have balance. Laughter is the sound in our home daily, and I'm able to make my priorities a priority. The best gift it's given me is the heights of excitement that I did not know were possible for normal people. was recognised as one of the UK's DSA Star of the Year Awards in 2018 and then again in 2025, and I'm so proud. And I'm so proud to say I earned 5th in the Parade of Champions, and my husband was here at GTC to witness that. There were so many other proud recognition moments on stage. The feelings of such highs that you can earn thanks to your accomplishments in this business are priceless. One day, my daughters will be old enough to understand that there was a time that Mummy hid behind a sofa because we had nothing left. But they'll also know this. She did not stay there. And that's the legacy I'm building. Not perfect circumstances, but resilience, courage, choice. And that's available to anyone willing to take a chance on themselves.
Whilst Danni was in Vegas in 2024, I went onto her website and I registered to be an independent consultant in her team. Danni then messaged me while she was at the airport. She said, "I think you've accidentally set up a consultant account. Don't worry, I'll get it sorted once I land back in the UK." She didn't honestly think that I had meant to start my own business, but I most definitely had, and I've not regretted that choice since. Just over a year later, we were in Dubai together, having an AIT, my first and Danni's 14th. I joined Arbonne 6 months before my second transplant, not because life felt calm, because it didn't. For me, my Arbonne business fitted around my reality of work and hospitals and recovery. And I worked my business from hospital beds and waiting areas consistently in the gaps available to me when energy allowed. For me, my Arbonne business has meant choice around my health and around my future as a result of my hard work. And once again, my gratitude goes to organ donors and their families. Their yes didn't just save my life, it allowed me to live it. My Arbonne business, it didn't change my past or my circumstances, but it gave me belief in what could be possible for my future. Thank you.
Thank you.